Hello aspirants, this is Shravani Ram. Welcome to Prime Time. In this video, we are going to cover all the current affairs regarding polity and governance in the last week, that is 16th of September to 22nd September. So let's get started. We have 5 topics in brief and 1 topic of importance. So topics in brief are Supreme Court bars POSH extension to women in politics, simultaneous polls, panel to consult economist, ECI introduces colored candidate photos on EVM ballot. Online RTI queries reaches may cross 1 million this year. Comptroller and Auditor General big push LLM and remote audits for audit efficiency. Finally, the topic of importance is basic structure on the Mysuru Dasara festival. So, let us jump into the first topic. Supreme Court bars POSH extension to women in politics. In this article, we are going to know what is POSH Act and what are the cases related to it in previous years and what are the key provisions for the POSH Act. Coming to POSH, it is Prevention of Sexual Harassment of a Woman in the Workplace Act. These enacted in 2013. So we'll see what are the related cases in previous years. In the first initial cases related to is Bhanwar Devi case of 1993 and later on in 1997 Vishaka guidelines came. Then it is a basic guidelines that enacted that led to the enactment of POSH Act of 2013. So the actual name is the Sexual Harassment of a Woman at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act of 2013. The key provisions are, it was defining what is workplace, what is sexual harassment and what is the definition of employee and employer. So it is avoiding the sexual harassment for the woman in the workplace. Means there has to be relation between employee and employer. And what is the applicability? It has to be workplace. All the workplaces will cover under this act. And there used to be internal complaint committee regarding taking the complaints ఇవ్వడం కావచ్చు and redressal mechanism కూడా it was defining very clearly. And there were penalties also and ad hoc judgments also will be delivered in this act. So even in previous years also Kerala lopala oka case అయింది 2022 like ఈ యాక్ట్ ని ప్రివెన్షన్ యాక్ట్ ని మనం పొలిటికల్ పార్టీస్ కి కూడా మనం ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేయాలి అని. అప్పుడు సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ హ్యాస్ డెలివర్డ్ క్లియర్లీ దీన్ని మనం పొలిటికల్ పార్టీస్ కి ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేయలేము. రీసెంట్ గా ఏమైందంటే ఈవెన్ సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ అదే తీర్పుని మళ్ళీ చెప్పింది. ఏమని? ప్రివెన్షన్ ఆఫ్ సెక్షువల్ హరాస్మెంట్ ఫర్ ఉమెన్ అట్ వర్క్ ప్లేస్. పొలిటికల్ పార్టీస్ అనేవి మెయిన్ గా కన్సిడర్ చేస్తే అవి వర్క్ ప్లేసెస్ కావు. దెర్ ఈస్ నో డెఫినేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఎంప్లాయ్ ఇన్ ద పొలిటికల్ పార్టీ. ఏదైతే యాక్ట్ లోపల ఎంప్లాయ్ డెఫినేషన్ ఉందో అది పొలిటికల్ పార్టీకి వర్తించదు. అండ్ వీళ్ళేం శాలరీ తీసుకొని వర్క్ చేయట్లేదు పొలిటికల్ పార్టీలో మెంబర్స్ వచ్చేసరికి. కాబట్టి ఇది మేము కన్సిడర్ చేయలేము. అండ్ దీన్ని చాలా ఒకవేళ పొలిటికల్ పార్టీస్ ని కనుక ఇంక్లూడ్ చేస్తే దీన్ని మిస్యూజ్ చేసుకునే అవకాశం ఉంది. కాబట్టి వీఆర్ నాట్ ఎక్స్టెండింగ్ దిస్ యాక్ట్ టు ద పొలిటికల్ పార్టీస్ అని సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ రీసెంట్ గా తీర్పు ఇచ్చింది. దిస్ వాజ్ అబౌట్ దిస్ ఆర్టికల్. గోయింగ్ టు ద నెక్స్ట్ ఆర్టికల్. So our next topic is simultaneous polls, panel to consult economists. In this article, we are going to know what are simultaneous polls and what is regarding that one nation and one elections. So simultaneous polls are nothing but at a time Lok Sabha ki state legislative assemblies ki elections jarugtayi. This was continued until 1967. 1967 varaku we followed the same pattern. లోక్ సభాస్ కి కావచ్చు స్టేట్ లెజిస్లేటివ్ అసెంబ్లీస్ కావచ్చు ఒకటేసారి ఎలక్షన్స్ అనేవి జరిగాయి. దాట్ ఈస్ వెరీ కాస్ట్ ఎఫెక్టివ్. సో లేటర్ ఆన్ ఏమైపోయింది అంటే స్టేట్ రిజల్యూషన్స్ డిఫరెంట్ గా చేంజ్ కావడం వల్ల ఈ ప్యాటర్న్ అనేది మారిపోయింది. సో హై లెవెల్ కమిటీ వాజ్ ఫార్మ్డ్ ఆన్ September 2nd, 2023 అండర్ రామ్నాథ్ కోవింద్. ఇట్ హ్యాస్ ఎ రిపోర్ట్ that yes, simultaneous elections అనేవి possible. We can go for the simultaneous elections. ఆ తర్వాత 2024 లోపల it has introduced in the parliament and then there was a joint parliamentary committee. So it is under scrutiny. Scrutiny ante, what are the possibilities to implement this? So it has gone through meeting various experts. Now it's time for meeting economist. ఈసారి రీసెంట్ గా ఏం చేసింది ఆ జేపీసీ అనేది ఎకనమిస్ట్ ని కలిసింది అనమాట. అంటే వాట్ ఆర్ ద కాస్ట్ బెనిఫిట్స్, లేదు అంటే ఛాలెంజెస్ ఏంటి ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయడంలో అన్నది. దిస్ ఈస్ అబౌట్ ద న్యూస్. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎఫెక్టింగ్ మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద ఆర్టికల్స్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ బికమ్ లా. 18 కావచ్చు, ఆర్టికల్ 18 కావచ్చు. ఈవెన్ ఇట్ విల్ చేంజెస్ ద రిప్రజెంటేషన్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్స్ యాక్ట్ ఆఫ్ 1951. సో చాలా చేంజెస్ అనేవి చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది ఒకవేళ మనం ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది. Okay, so we'll go into the next article. Our next topic is ECI introduces color candidate photos on EVM ballots. It is regarding Bihar Assembly elections. Almost every week we are considering one news regarding the Bihar elections, Bihar Assembly elections. Aadhar controversy కావచ్చు, Supreme Court interference కావచ్చు. We are observing almost a news in every week. So ఇప్పుడు న్యూస్ ఏంటంటే దే ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ కలర్ ఫోటో ఇన్ ఈవీఎం వాలెట్స్. ఇన్ దిస్ ప్రాస్పెక్టివ్ విల్ సీ వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఎవల్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ ఈవీఎంస్. సో 2000 కంటే ముందు గమనిస్తే వీ యూస్ టు హ్యావ్ ద బ్యాలెట్ పేపర్స్ అండ్ దెన్ వాట్ హ్యాపెన్ 1982లో ట్రయల్ పర్పస్ కోసం ఈవీఎంస్ అనేవి ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేయబడ్డాయి. దట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ కేరళ పారూర్ అసెంబ్లీ కాన్స్టిట్యుయెన్సీలో టెస్ట్ ట్రయల్ చేశారు. ఆ తర్వాత 2001 to 2004 కంప్లీట్ గా ఆల్ ఓవర్ ఇండియా దే హ్యావ్ ఇంప్లిమెంటెడ్ ఈవీఎంస్. కమింగ్ టు ద అడ్వాంటేజ్, దే ఆర్ వెరీ కాస్ట్ ఎఫెక్టివ్ అండ్ ప్రింటింగ్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ తగ్గుతాయి, ప్రింటింగ్ పేపర్ తగ్గుతుంది, ఎకో ఫ్రెండ్లీ. కమింగ్ టు ద ఛాలెంజెస్, there were always allegations regarding the tampering. So many times even Supreme Court upheld that yes, we can trust EVMs, but still there is a conspiracy regarding the transparency through the EVMs. This is about the news. We are going to the next news. Next topic is online RTI queries may cross 1 million this year. So recently, January 2nd, 2025, RTI portal was introducing the OTP system. Even though there are so many functional delays of that OTP system, it is expected that it is going to reach 1 million. It is going to cross 1 million queries for this year. So what are the constitutional relations to it? First thing, RTI Act of 2005. So it is giving the access to the citizens for knowing the information and it is time bounded. Time bounded. If you break that time bound, even it is applicable to the penalties also. And one more important thing here, right to information is comes under right to freedom of expression, freedom of speech and expression, and it related to Article 21 as well. So this is Article 19 and this is Article 21. Article 21 comes under right of life and personal liberty. Okay, this is about this news. Next topic is COG's big push LLM and remote audits for audit efficiency. COG is Controller and Auditor General. Regarding COG office, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said it is probably most important office under the Constitution of India. So it plays very important role. Why? Because it audits the all government offices, public sector undertakings and government related offices. And not only that, it will do performance auditing also. So it is very essential to bring out the transparency of the government. So in this perspective, why it is in news? It is in news because it is adapting the AI models, learning language models and AI models and its processing, audit processing. It makes faster and accurate and effective results or reports for the auditing. This is the first time that COG is doing this. And what are the constitutional relative topics first? The functions of COG are mentioned from Article 148 to 151. And we have to know the Comptroller and Auditor General duties, powers and condition of Service Act of 1971.
Hello everyone. As you all know, Civil Services Prime Time is one of its kind initiative where we are teaching the students current affairs related to that particular subject one day at a time. అంటే ఒక వారంలో జరిగిన కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ అన్ని ఒక సబ్జెక్ట్ కి సంబంధించి మేము ఒక రోజులో చెప్తున్నాం. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ఆల్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద రివర్స్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ టెక్నిక్. బికాస్ మీరు ప్రతి వీడియో చూసినట్టయితే ఎండ్ లో ప్రీవియస్ ఇయర్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ప్రిలిమ్స్ చేస్తున్నాము, అలాగే ఒక క్వశ్చన్ మెయిన్స్ చేస్తాం. సో in order to get daily updates at 7 o'clock sharp as we are doing it, subscribe చేసుకోండి, అలాగే bell కూడా click చేయండి so that 7 o'clock కి మీకు immediate గా notification వస్తుంది.
Let us know the topic of importance, basic structure on Mysuru Dasara festival. It is very important. It has denoted by Supreme Court, basic structure, preamble and secularism. So what happened? Every year, Karnataka government celebrates Dasara festival in Mysuru. It starts with Chamundeshwari temple in the Mysuru. So what happened? This year, the Karnataka government wants to invite Banu Mustaq. She was a Booker Prize winner and she is non-Hindu. She is from Muslim religion. So Karnataka government invited her to inaugurate the Dasara festival in Karnataka. And there was a huge resistance from the local people and they have filed a petition in the Supreme Court. The actual ceremony has to be conducted on September 22nd, 2025. So, in this perspective, Supreme Court has dismissed that plea. Three keynotes. One is basic structure, one is secularism, one is preamble. These three are very important in this perspective. So we'll see one by one how they are related. First, coming to the basic structure, in 1973, the Keshwananda Bharati judgment was delivered stating the basic structure doctrine. So it is saved the India's democracy. So in this perspective, what we need to know is the Supreme Court had mentioned basic structure means the constitution can be amended through Article 368, but it should not violate the basic structure. This is the summary of that case. And later on, it is expanded the basic structure for so many aspects. I'll read out all those things. Try to remember that. Supremacy of the Constitution, sovereign, democratic and republic nature of India, judicial review, secularism, rule of law, and separation powers between the executive, legislative and judiciary, federalism, parliamentary form of government, and free and fair elections and judicial independence of judiciary. That is 99th Constitutional Amendment. And equality before law and equal protection by law. Harmony and balance between the fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy. Limited power of Parliament to amending the Constitution. Welfare state, effective access to justice, freedom of dignity of the individual, judicial independence and judicial process, principles of reasonableness, powers of Supreme Court under Article 32, 136, 141 and 142. And next, powers of High Court under Article 226 and 227. Principle of free and independent civil services also. These are all expansions of the Supreme Court under basic structure. Next, coming to right to freedom of religion. It includes Article 25 to 28. First, if you speak about Article 25, it will give the freedom of profession, practicing and propagation of the religion. And coming to the Article 26, it gives you the freedom to manage your religious affairs. And coming to the Article 27, you no need to pay any tax for practicing any religion. That is Article 27. And Article 28, no religion instructions in government educational institutions, means they are secular, they are neutral. And what are the constitutional and statutory provisions? Because as it mentioned in preamble also, and it mentioned secularism also. Secularism is reflected in this Article 25 to 28 indirectly. and the term secular added to the preamble by 42nd Constitutional Amendment 1976. Even before secularism was existed, but it is mentioned through this Amendment Act in the preamble. So, preamble mentions secularism, first point. So, as we are secular, you cannot direct the government that you cannot choose a person from a particular religion to inaugurate such a state ceremony. So, what it has mentioned, it has taken the reference of preamble here. Fine. And next, role of state and secular state. It reminded that the constitution requires government to act neutrally. The government should not take any religious as a state religion. So, Supreme Court has also reminded that state can choose without discriminating on the religion, and state has to be neutral towards a religion. So, this is about this topic of importance. Now, we are going to see all the PYQs related UPSC previous examinations. Our first question, it is from 2017 UPSC CSE. So, the question is, which one of the following objectives is not embedded in the preamble of the Constitution of India? First, liberty of thought. As liberty of thought exists in the preamble. And economic liberty. Equality of status. Yes, it is there. Fraternity, it is there. Coming to the economic liberty, there was a speaking regarding the justice, which is social, political, and economical. But there is no term called economic liberty in the preamble. So, this is the wrong answer. This does not exist in the preamble, economic liberty. Coming to the next question, it came in 2020 UPSC CSE Prelims. With reference to the preamble to the Constitution of India, consider the following statements. The preamble states that Constitution derives its authority from Parliament of India. If you break down the preamble, we can make it into 4 parts. First one is the source, and the second one is nature, and third one is objective, and fourth one is date of adoption. So, the first part is telling about the source, and the source is people of India are the source for the preamble and the Constitution. So, this is the wrong answer, not the Parliament of India. And the objectives of liberty, equality, and fraternity are mentioned in the preamble. Yes, they are mentioned. So, this is right. The answer is B only. Coming to the next question. It came in 2021 UPSC Prelims. The preamble to the Constitution of India is part of the Constitution but has no legal effect, not part of the Constitution and has no legal effect, part of the Constitution and has the same legal effect as other part of the Constitution but has a limited legal effect. So, if you read the answers, first thing what we have to know is it is a part of Constitution. So, this is not an option. Coming to the enforceability of the preamble, it is not enforceable. Before basic structure, it was not completely enforceable, no legal effect. It has no legal effect. But after basic structure doctrine, it has limited legal effect. So, the answer is D. If he mentions before basic structure, A is answer. But now, the part of the Constitution but has a limited legal effect. So, answer is D. Question number 4. It came in 2019 UPSC Prelims. The fourth question is, it came in 2019 UPSC Prelims. Consider the following statements. The 44th Amendment to the Constitution of India introduced an article placing the election of the Prime Minister beyond judicial review. Yes, it is struck down by the judiciary, but it's not 44th Constitutional Amendment. It is 39th Amendment. So, this is wrong. And option B. The Supreme Court of India struck down the 99th Constitutional Amendment as being violate of independence of judiciary. Yes, it is true. It is regarding the NJAC judgment. So, it is struck down that independence of judiciary is part of basic structure. So, answer is only B. Coming to the fifth question, it came in 2018 UPSC Prelims. Which of the following statements are correct about the Right to Information Act 2005? The RTI Act 2005 empowers the citizens to secure time-bound information for public authorities. Yes, this is true. It is time bounded. The information commissions, central and state, have a power to impose penalties on PIOs for not providing information. This is also true. The Act has an overriding effect over all existing laws that are inconsistent with it. Yes, this is also true. So, answer is A, B, C. So, coming to the mains question, the question came in 2020 regarding preamble. The preamble of Indian Constitution is key to philosophy. Discuss. So, as keyword is discuss here. So, we need to discuss all the philosophy of the preamble. Introduce it regarding the objective resolutions of 1946 that was delivered by Jawaharlal Nehru. And then address the source and nature and objectives and date of adoption, all the structures and key features. If you take the objectives, what are the objectives? List it and clearly define it. And adding with that, discuss regarding the Keshavananda Bharati case and Berubari cases also. What is the key statements regarding preamble in that judgments? In conclusion, mention it as philosophical foundation for governance and legal interpretation. And you can speak regarding wherever it is possible, the evolution and expansion of the preamble as well, according to the basic structure. So, please write and send your answers to the response@civiccentre.in. Hope this video is helpful to you. Thank you. Thanks for watching.
CivicCentre IAS is offering Telangana Group 1 Prelims cum Mains classes as well as Andhra Pradesh Group 1 Prelims cum Mains classes in English medium for a period of 8 to 10 months. This also covers the complete NCERT textbooks and statewide textbooks. So, what are you waiting for? Learn through reverse engineering technique today. Admissions are in progress. Join now. Visit our website. Thank you.